Bishop Edward Burns.
The allegations came from 3 adults who said the criminal sexual acts occurred while they were in their mid-teens. The allegations were found to be credible. The Diocese of Dallas suspended Father Paredes, and he is no longer allowed to function or present himself as a priest.
They've been unable to find the accused pastor, Reverend Edmundo Paredes. They suspect he fled to his native Philippines. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
I'm Eddie Manzano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center. No delays on the Edens, inbound and outbound. Lake Hook to the junction at 19 minutes, inbound Kennedy. Brake lights from the extension to Canfield, slow from the junction to Kimball. O'Hare to downtown at 24, also 24 on the way back out. Outbound express lanes at 8 minutes on the inbound Ike. Delays from Damon into the Circle. Thorndale to the post office at 31 on the outbound at 29. Inbound and outbound Stevenson flowing freely from 55 to Lakeshore Drive at 34. Inbound Dan Ryan heavy from the Stevenson to the Circle, 95th to downtown at 25. On the outbound at 15, no delays from the Circle all the way to the Skyway. Lakeshore northbound, southbound problem free from Hollywood to Monroe at 15 minutes. It is currently overcast, 78 degrees. Tonight a low of 71. Tomorrow Monday a high of 80 and a chance of thunderstorms. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560 The Answer.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invite you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
Hey, honey, what's going on?
I was just logging in and checking on our account, and I thought we were going to do better this year.
I know. I've been trying to watch what I spend. No more stopping for coffee for me.
I don't think giving up coffee is going to do it. We need more income for our day-to-day, not to mention setting aside something for the kids' college and our retirement.
Man, I wish there was an answer.
For most of us, no one ever taught us how to invest, yet it's a skill that we all need. If you're looking to generate extra income, Online Trading Academy, the leader in financial education, can help. Attend one of Online Trading Academy's free introductory classes, and they'll show you how to create monthly, weekly, or even daily income using their patented supply and demand strategy. Plus, this month, they'll send you home with their free investor kit, loaded with guides to smarter investing and lessons from the pros just for attending. Register now by calling 888-984-TRADE, 888-984-8723, or OTAChicago.com. 888-984-TRADE or OTAChicago.com.
It's time for On Target Radio, Chicagoland's only radio show dedicated to the red meat issues that affect your life, from gun control to freedom of speech. Now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Welcome to On Target Radio. Tonight, David's rant of the week is gun control myths that die hard, with David and Gretchen taking a look at how one state is fighting back against the anti-Second Amendment influences. Then we turn to Texas, guns on campus, and what the court told faculty who objected. And there's a change to your FOID card you'll want to know about. All that and more on tonight's On Target Radio. So be sure to give us a call at 312-642-5600, or watch us live on YouTube, On Target Radio, or go to Facebook, like our page, On Target Radio, and ask a question there.
And now, from the seething cauldron of personal opinion, it's time for David's Rant of the Week.
At some point, you would think the anti-gun cabal would educate themselves enough to know the facts about guns. Instead of focusing on real concerns such as the mentally ill getting access to a gun, they continue to rely on talking points that have no validity. Banning the AR-15 is one of the more common ones these days. They try to make a case for banning the AR will stop the carnage, but the fact is the overwhelming majority of violent crime is handgun-related. They're going after the AR-15 specifically because they view it as low-hanging fruit. They're convinced they can win that war in the state legislatures. One need only look at the criteria they consider to make an assault weapon, and it's obviously a sham. Pistol grips, barrel shrouds, collapsible stock, and other cosmetic parts that have nothing to do with the lethality of the firearm. But the real issue is blaming the inanimate object rather than the individual who uses it. And worse, so many of these school shooters had a litany of psychological problems and encounters with law enforcement that should have been more than enough reason to get the individual psychological help and keep them away from firearms. One of the most bogus arguments is the notion that the Second Amendment only gives the right to bear arms to the military. This is so wrong on so many levels. First of all, the Constitution in general and the Bill of Rights specifically do not award rights to John Q. Public. They affirm their rights and specifically limit the power of government. Among the Founding Fathers, the Federalists were against the Bill of Rights. Liberals have used that fact to say the Founding Fathers really didn't intend to give the public unlimited freedom, but they either misunderstand or are disingenuous because that's not the case. The Federalists, such as Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison, didn't like the Bill of Rights because they argued that the Constitution didn't need it. Their perspective was the people and the states kept any powers not given to the federal government. Their fear was a tyrannical government would consider a Bill of Rights as an all-inclusive list of rights of citizens and everything else were rights of the government. The anti-federalists, such as Patrick Henry, Samuel Adams, and James Monroe, believed a Bill of Rights was necessary to safeguard individual liberty by specifically stating the most sacred rights were clearly guaranteed. Both sides agreed on the rights of John Q. They just disagreed on how to assure those rights would always be recognized. An ancillary to the liberal interpretation of the Second Amendment is it only applies to muskets. The Founding Fathers had no way to predict the evolution of firearms into the modern rapid-fire weapons of war they are now available in. They would postulate. Ironically, that point of view is most often read in internet blogs on smartphones and iPads, which begs the question, do they have the right to publish their thoughts since the First Amendment would only apply to quill and parchment? But I digress. What the Founding Fathers did know was that John Q. should have total access to the same weaponry possessed by the military because John Q. is the last line of defense against a government out of control. And that nonsense where the left goes to the extreme and asks, well, does that mean that you should be allowed to own a nuclear weapon? First of all, even a government out of control in this country isn't going to be nuking its own cities. But having said that, what part of law-abiding citizen do you not get? Even if I had a nuke on the workbench in my garage, I'm not going to be using it. That's the point of being a law-abiding citizen. And for the record, you intellectual tree stumps, repeating rifles were in existence for more than 100 years before the Bill of Rights was written, and the puckle gun, a multiple-shot repeating rifle, somewhat of a precursor to the Gatling gun, was well known to the Founding Fathers. Not much of an intellectual leap of faith to project it would morph into a more efficient automatic-type firearm in the future. But the most fundamental lie is, if we ban guns, criminals won't have access, and violent crime will go away. Again, the hardware's the problem, not the individual. But individuals have been slaughtering others from time immemorial, all the way back to the day Cain killed his brother Abel. Yeah, the government banning guns will solve the problem, all right, just as it did with prohibition and the war on drugs. If you're in the mood to ban something, how about we ban those who would attempt to ban law-abiding citizens from owning whatever gun they want? And that, Gretchen, is my rant for the week.
Let's ban stupidity.
Then I wouldn't be on the show anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, that won't work.
That would be painful to me.
It's your show, so that won't work.
Well, it's our show. Speaking of stupidity, this millennial couple thing, you know, people dying is never nothing to joke about.
No, and we're not.
But you know, and there are some inaccuracies in this article that I have here. But this is a couple that did, in fact, go to an area where there's high terrorism.
They were, in fact, in their 20s.
Exactly. And they were, the sort of hippie type of pieces, love, and all that kind of stuff.
They had good jobs, and they decided that they were wasting their lives working.
Which is a little bit ironic about wasting their lives.
Right. So, somebody on Facebook, one of my Facebook friends, criticized the article and said, oh, you're just labeling it with millennial to get the baby boomers agitated. But exactly, that's my point. They are millennials, and they're doing that millennial thing of like, we're wasting our lives working. Let's bike across Asia. Or, well, actually it was around the world. Let's bike around the world.
And they had traveled extensively. I mean, it wasn't like the very first time that they took a trip. What they're quoted in this article, which I did some research and could not find any other reference, is they're saying that ISIS people really are good and all that. That is apparently not true. But it is true that they did say, this was a quote from, I think it was from him, evil is a make-believe concept we've invented to deal with the complexities of fellow humans. They did espouse the philosophy that people are basically good if given the opportunity. Unfortunately, apparently they didn't give them enough opportunity because it's not funny. But this reminds me, I told you in the break, of the guy who says to his girlfriend, I want to take you out because I can live with the grizzlies. They're my friends.
I've been communing with the grizzlies.
Yeah.
I can communicate with them. I can talk to them, and they're fine.
And what they said was, we want buffet. Go get another person. Yeah, we're looking for buffet dinner.
We're looking for diversity in our menu.
Yeah. Give us a call, 312-642-5600. We're talking about weird stuff. Which, how does that jive? We always talk about weird stuff.
I was going to say, this is On Target Radio, after all.
Some things never change. But here's the serious thing about this, aside from the fact that they got killed. The serious thing about this is there are some percentage of these progressive liberals who they're not buying, I mean, they honestly believe what they're saying. People like Bloomberg, they're not stupid. They know what the reality is, and they've got their own hidden agenda. But there are people on the other side of the aisle who truly believe what they're saying is true. Now, these are people who've never been in law enforcement. They've never been in the military. They've never encountered. There's evil out there. No matter what anybody says, there are people who are just pure and simple evil.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even, isn't it Paul McKinley who says that? Who says there are some people that in Chicago that just need to be locked up and thrown away the key. Yeah. Yeah. Because they cannot be reformed. Yeah. That they are, like you're saying, they are evil. But yeah, I mean, I think that at its most basic level, if you are one of those people who says people are good and no one's truly evil, I think that is someone who doesn't have any belief in a higher power, because pretty much every belief system believes in good and evil. Pretty much every religion.
It's all predicated on that.
Right. Pretty much every religion in some form espouses good and evil.
And much of literature.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right. I mean, there are even secular people who believe in the concept of good and evil.
And it's because you've never encountered somebody like that.
Right.
And look, these are people who get certificates for participating, and they have safe places, and they've never encountered. They've never seen people do evil.
Miniature horses for emotional support. That's right. That they need to bring on airplanes with them.
Those of us who have actually seen evil carry guns.
Well,
that's kind of the short answer.
Yes, but, we do.
And here's the thing, and we got to take a break, but here's the thing about evil. You never know when it shows up. It's just in your face. All right, we're going to be back, and when we return, we're going to talk about one state who's fighting anti-gun people, particularly the banks. So we're going to talk about that when we come back with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560. The Answer.
How can you get from here to there? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
I'm Eddie Manzano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center on the inbound Edens. Lake Hook to the junction at 21 on the outbound at 19. Inbound Kennedy, heavy from the extension to Canfield. Pockets of delays from the junction into the circle. O'Hare to downtown at 27. On the outbound at 24. Outbound express lanes at 8 minutes. Inbound Ike. Slight delay from Damon into the circle. Thorndale to the post office at 31 on the outbound at 29. Inbound Dan Ryan, heavy from the Stevenson to the circle. 95th to downtown at 25 on the outbound at 15. No delays report on Lakeshore, northbound and southbound. Hollywood Monroe at 15 minutes. The suburban tollways looking good, as well as the Indiana toll roads. It is currently overcast, 78 degrees. Tonight, a low of 71. Tomorrow, Monday, high of 80 and a chance of thunderstorms. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
My overrating's bad.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson.
I didn't know, too, that we could tip Uber drivers.
Didn't know.
This is new to me.
Every time you complete a ride, it
Right.
pops up with a rating, and then if you want to add a tip. 2.5 Uber rating for Amy Jacobson, 4.88. This is for Dan Proft.
Do you just not even say anything to them when you get in the car?
Correct. That's the secret to getting a high Uber rating.
Chicago's Morning Answer. Weekday mornings starting at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
I see on your resume that you're a nature leader.
Yep.
I think you mean natural leader.
Nope. Nature leader. I volunteer with the Forest Preserves of Cook County.
Oh,
With 70,000 acres, they need all the helping hands they can get.
I love nature. Can I volunteer?
Of course. When can you start?
To learn more, visit fpdcc.com. Sponsored by the Forest Preserves of Cook County and aired in cooperation with the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station.
The real estate market can be tricky to navigate. The only edge to help you get ahead is knowledge and experience. And Real Estate Revealed is that edge. Heard Sunday mornings at 8 and hosted by Randy Marcella. Real Estate Revealed uncovers truths about the real estate market with an entire team of experts. Their real estate power allows them to present their experiences to benefit you before your next transaction. Real Estate Revealed, Sunday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer. You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. To participate, call the studio at 312-642-5600.
And we're back, and we have gone forth and multiplied.
Well, that sounds like we had a baby.
Well, we kind of did. Techno Guy is now in the studio.
I am.
And that's his voice.
It's not going forth and multiplying. It's more just like having a party. We're just having people over.
So they hear my voice at the beginning, so they know what it sounds like.
Well, I know, but they don't relate to you being...
And now he's out of the frame, so now that he's still just a disembodied voice.
Out of sight, out of mind.
So here's this little news flash from Louisiana. I taught down there for 3 years back in the 80s, and I always did like Louisiana. The interesting thing about Louisiana is they're Democrats, except they act like they're Republicans. That's which I've always found interesting. They're blue dogs.
That makes perfect sense.
They actually, and I don't know, a lot of people may not know this, Louisiana is known as a sportsman's paradise.
Oh.
It's not that's what's on their license, but it's state motto. Because there's hunting, fishing, anything you could possibly imagine you can do in Louisiana if you're a sportsman. So guns in Louisiana When I was there in the 80s, every pickup truck had a gun rack in the back window.
It's like religion.
Exactly. And you know that because every rural traffic sign has bullet holes in it. And they just drive down the road. You go,
they just like to shoot
there's
stuff.
a stop sign. Yeah, look at this, a yield.
It's just like a steel target, only free.
Exactly.
Rite of passage.
I never thought about it that way. It's true. They don't have to buy steel targets.
It's the steel target that is publicly funded.
That makes sense. I like that. So it's not really a big surprise that they're going to do a big. You remember when we were going through the airport that's on I-10 down there? Mm-hmm. That whole complex area down there is old. So they're going to float $600 million in infrastructure bonds. Now this is a big deal.
Sure,
a very big deal. And obviously,
$600 million is a lot of money.
And you know, you're on the county board. Obviously, you try and get the best deal you can get, right?
Yeah.
They're more concerned about Second Amendment than they are about that. And the two big banks, Bank of America and Citigroup, recently they've cut off water to anybody that deals in firearms, and there's a list of stuff.
Right, if they sell guns to people under 21 and, all sorts of
don't
things
do background
like
check and stuff like that. They wanted to bid on the contracts. And the state said, no, we don't like you, which is putting your money where your mouth is.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that refreshing, truly refreshing.
And, you're saying they might not get as good of a deal, but there was like 19 bidders. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's still plenty of competition. I don't really think it's probably, even though those are big dogs in the industry, I don't think it's really going to affect the outcome probably that much.
It probably will not. What is interesting is the anti-gun cabal raises its head again. Well, it's going to destroy the state. It's going to cost more money to taxpayers. I mean, I got all these reasons why they shouldn't have done that. I think it's a really good thing. I'd love to see states do that.
Well, and the interesting thing, too, is that, like you were saying, they're a little bit of a split personality when it comes to the whole Democrat-Republican thing because they have a senator who apparently is a Republican, John Kennedy, which Kennedy being a Republican is a bit shocking unto itself.
Wrong Kennedy.
I have to admit, I had to read that like 3 times before I fully grasped what was going on in the article. But the governor is a Democrat.
Right.
And so there's a little disagreement between Governor John Bel Edwards and U.S. Senator John Kennedy. And Kennedy is saying inflammatory things like the governor sided with the banks and against the Second Amendment and things like that. So, and then the governor is saying, you're our congressperson. You should be more concerned with federal things and stay out of my business.
Keep your nose out of my business. Yeah,
mind your business.
Politics in Louisiana is really very interesting because there's a lot of friction, and literally Louisiana should be 2 states. North Louisiana, it's like they drew a line straight through it. North Louisiana, wooded, hilly, Baptist. It's dry. It's one thing. And then you go to the south half of Louisiana. It's swampy. It's Catholic. I mean, it's Cajun. The food is totally different. It's like it's 2 different states, and there is sort of a friction there because the Baptists are like.
Yeah, there's a lot of dry counties down there, right?
There are. They call them parishes, but yeah. The one that I lived in, where the university was that I was teaching at, pretty much every election, a referendum was on there to make it not a wet parish, to allow alcohol, and it always lost. Didn't even come close. And yet, the next parish over had a bar right on the line. Right, the parish line.
Of course they did.
And there were like skid marks from our parish to that one because they'd all go over there and drink, but they didn't want it in their parish. I know I've told you this, but it just to show you how partisan politics are and how the good old boy thing reigns supreme in Louisiana. When I was there, the governor was a guy named Edwin Edwards, and he was up for re-election. He was a married guy, had kids, but he made absolutely no bones. He was a big-time outdoorsman, and he was a hardcore drinker, gambler. He was a womanizer, and was proud of it, right? And he was being interviewed by a woman, and the feds were looking at him to indict him. They hadn't, but they were looking at him for a bunch
Federal
of stuff.
charges,
Yeah. And a woman reporter was interviewing him. She said, Governor Edwards, given that all of these things and that the feds are actually looking at you for an indictment, what do you really think your chances are of being reelected governor? And he said, he goes, the only way I will not get elected is if they find a dead hooker or a live little boy in my bed. That's the honest to God truth. He said that, and it was in the paper, and he got reelected. And ultimately, they in fact did ultimately indict him, but he was already out of office by the time they did that. But yeah, that's Louisiana. Partisan politics is astounding, and everybody knows everybody, and they pay, and it's just it's an interesting place.
So can we go back to the first segment for a second? We got a couple of comments on the internet.
Do we?
On the interwebs,
You
yes.
can speak.
Schlanky Man 545.
I beg your pardon.
Nice.
That's his username.
Okay.
You can't make this stuff up.
No.
He said on YouTube, the left wanting to take God out of everything is a huge problem.
Well.
So that I thought was one prescient comment. And our good friend Larry on Facebook said, if these people want to take our guns away, fine. Let's get this party started. I have bleep to do next weekend.
Yeah, that was an idea. That's a thought. You're ready, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. What the heck?
I still haven't loaded those PMags you gave me. I got to do that. But other than that, I'm ready.
You want to keep those on hand. Yeah, you want to keep those on hand for sure.
As you like to say, Mom is always downstairs reloading.
That's right. It becomes less and less funny. Who would have thought 5 years ago that anyone would actually seriously be saying there may be a civil war?
Yeah, no.
They're ever persistent. It doesn't go away. They just keep chipping away. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they were gone, and now they've reared their ugly head again. So.
They're like roaches. You can't kill them.
No, you can't get stuff done that quickly.
They're all the same across the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's right, exactly what you're saying. It's not only money, it's time. There's a time factor. And yeah, the more money that you have, the quicker you can get it done.
That's right.
I don't know. It's it can be problematic. Anyway, we'll talk about, when we return, we're going to talk about a judge put the cramps on faculty who didn't like on-campus carry. So we'll talk about that and more when we return with more on Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560.
The Answer.
The world is a dangerous place. Often, it's a very ugly place, and you come here to try to help make sense of it all. We give you the latest news, help you understand what it means and why it's important. But there are bigger questions you need answered about life and death, faith and hope. And that's where our sister station, AM 1160, Hope for Your Life, comes in. When you're looking for answers to life's biggest questions, give them a listen at AM 1160 or online at 1160hope.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Ann Carrick. The Trump administration doubling down on the decision to strip former CIA Director John Brennan of his security clearance. National Security Advisor John Bolton on ABC this week.
When he was director of the CIA, I was very troubled by his conduct, by statements he made in public, and by what I thought was his politicization of the intelligence community.
9 other officials apparently on the president's list to lose their clearance. Catholics reeling over a new grand jury report of hundreds of pedophile priests sexually abusing 1,000 young people in Pennsylvania. Bishop David Zubik from the Diocese of Pittsburgh on ABC this week.
The report is lengthy, but we were also given the opportunity by the courts to do our response. And I encourage people to read our responses as well, too, because it addresses the issue of how we didn't cover up.
Some Catholics now calling for a financial boycott. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Stuck in traffic? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
I'm Eddie Manzano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center on the inbound Edens. Lake Cook to the junction at 21 on the outbound at 19. Inbound Kennedy, heavy from the extension to Canfield pockets of delays from the junction into the Circle, O'Hare to downtown at 27. On the outbound at 24, outbound express lanes at 8 minutes. Inbound Ike, slight delay from Damon into the Circle. Thorndale to the post office at 31. On the outbound at 29. Inbound Dan Ryan, heavy from the Stevenson to the Circle. 95th to downtown at 25. On the outbound at 15. No delays report on Lakeshore, northbound and southbound. Hollywood to Monroe at 15 minutes. The suburban tollways looking good, as well as the Indiana toll roads. It is currently overcast, 78 degrees. Tonight, a low of 71. Tomorrow, Monday, high of 80 and a chance of thunderstorms. Next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I've got ankylosing spondylitis, which is a arthritic disease, calcification of the major joints in the spine, and I just don't have the pain that I used to have. It's really kind of amazing. Balance of Nature has been an amazing product. I've recommended it to literally hundreds. I'm a pastor, and I've said, y'all just try it. Give it a month. Give it a try. And so hopefully they have. But it's an amazing product, and the neatest thing is when you first open up that bottle and you can smell the fruits and vegetables. Every time I open one, I just get a big kick out of that.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first preferred set of fruits and veggies and have them shipped to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751, or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Safer USA, Chicago's most trusted name in firearm training, is offering beginners classes, tactical pistol and rifle, long-range rifle to 600 yards, and the most comprehensive Illinois concealed carry program available. AM 560 On Target Radio co-hosts David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz will prepare you to carry a firearm for personal protection, including firearm, holster, and ammunition selection. A comprehensive law review designed to keep you out of trouble, and even how to deal with home invasions. Firearm, ammunition, holster, class notebook are provided. Safer USA and the Aurora Sportsman's Club invites you to participate in this one-of-a-kind Illinois concealed carry program that also qualifies you for Florida, Utah, and Arizona non-resident permits. Find out what over 6,000 students already know at saferusa.com.
Or call 815-741-3474. That's 815-741-3474. Safer USA. Choosing to own a firearm is your business. Teaching you to own it responsibly is ours.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
And Eric.
And Eric. Eric's here.
Eric's here. He is indeed. So this is an interesting thing. Texas, which, everybody always goes, I want to retire. I want to move to Texas. That's just cool. That's fine. Although North Carolina seems to be.
Not everybody, just me, you.
Is there anyone else? As you know, or may not know, Texas passed a law this year, as I recall, wasn't it? Or was it last year?
No, I think it was last year.
Okay. Last year, that students could legally carry concealed on campus if the university accepted it.
Actually, it went into effect last year. They passed it 2 years ago because the original lawsuit was from 2 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Right.
So it went into effect later.
So the Fifth Circuit Court obviously a few professors go, they don't like guns.
Mhm.
So they go,
They brought a lawsuit.
Yeah, you got to file a lawsuit. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeal, the judges determined the professors' claim that the campus carry law, this is just classic, infringes upon their First, Second, and 14th Amendment rights was invalid. Now, just the logic here is what I think is wonderful. The first one, I can almost understand the first one, almost. Except for the fact there's absolutely nothing to back it up,
Right.
other than that small point.
Except for the fact that concealed carry people are the most law-abiding citizens in the whole country.
There you go, being prejudiced again. But how does it infringe on First Amendment? Well, according to these professors, Mia Carter, Jennifer Glass, and Lisa Moore, well, let's see, all women. Students and professors might be too afraid to discuss controversial topics in the classroom when someone in the room might be armed without their knowledge. Okay, so name any time a concealed carry holder was in a classroom discussing a subject they didn't like and they shot somebody for it.
Right. They decided to shoot up the place.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. Alex, I'll take stupid reasons
George,
for $100.
do you have a cricket sound effect?
Exactly. Compelling professors at a public university to allow without any limitation or restriction students to carry concealed guns in their classroom chills their First Amendment rights to academic freedom, the lawsuit said. The appeals court panel said, no, not really. It's not true.
It says the plaintiffs cannot manufacture standing by self-censoring her speech based on what she alleges to be a reasonable probability that concealed carry license holders will intimidate professors and students in the classroom.
You want to give us a call, 312-642-5600. You got to weigh in on this. This is insane. The one I really love is the 14th Amendment. Now, you seem to, and I'll give you an opportunity, you can dust off that concept you had where there's some sense to this, because to me, this is insane. 14th Amendment violation. Now, 14th Amendment is about citizenship and rights of American citizens, okay? So here is why they claim it violates it. You got to follow this very closely. It says the professors claim in the lawsuit that campus carry violated the amendment because, quote, the university lacks a rational basis for determining where students can or cannot conceal carry handguns on campus, unquote. That affects your right to be a citizen in what way? And federal judges shot that one down as well, their words, not mine, saying that Glass ultimately fails to address Texas arguments concerning rational basis. Instead, she simply argues that the prohibited concealed carry zones are, quote, inexplicable hodgepodge, unquote. Okay, how does that prevent someone from being a citizen?
No, it doesn't. It just infringes on their rights. Yeah, I'm not gonna defend them because it's completely ridiculous. But yes, it's pretty bad when they go, that's not even rational.
And these are professors,
right?
Who they probably teach logic. I bet that's what they do.
Well, they probably teach like women's studies or something.
Yeah, gender identity.
Yeah.
Well, you can't even say that anymore because no one can identify anymore. We have no idea.
What I don't understand is back to the first page. It says that their lawsuit alleged that the law infringes upon their First, Second, and 14th Amendment rights. So how does it infringe on the Second Amendment
rights?
Notice
they don't even talk about that.
Right. I think that whoever wrote this article, Conservative Tribune, Kara Pendleton, couldn't even come up with a reasonable explanation of how it infringes on the professor's Second Amendment rights.
It doesn't.
I think it was just pull amendments out of a hat, and that's what it infringes upon.
Like bingo.
Right.
You know, it's almost like I would maybe compare it to the people who say they have freedom from religion because of separation of church and state.
Right,
It's like, no, it actually doesn't say that anywhere in there, that you're never going to have to see a cross or that you're never going to have to, see the 10 Commandments written on a wall somewhere. It actually doesn't say that anywhere in there.
The reality is almost nobody can actually accurately quote the Constitution or even the Bill of Rights. They have no idea.
True.
They think First Amendment. I'm at work and I'm swearing it's my First Amendment right. They have no idea what these things have to do with. All right. Anyway, we sort of beaten that horse to death.
But it's fun.
It is fun. It's fun to beat things to death. When we come back, we're going to talk about our governor signed off a change to the FOID card. So we'll chat a little bit about that when we return and some other stuff. And you're listening to On Target Radio. And this is AM 560.
The Answer.
How can you get from here to there? We've got the answer from the Balance of Nature Traffic Center.
Hi, I'm VG Lozano in the Balance of Nature Traffic Center in Darien. There's a crash at 87th and Lamont Road. Heading eastbound on the Edens Spur, traffic slows down between the Tri-State Tollway and the Edens Expressway. Heading inbound on the Edens, it slows down from Foster to Montrose. Inbound Dan Ryan is tight between Cermak Road and the Burn Interchange, heading for a 21-minute trip downtown. Inbound Eisenhower slows from Damon Avenue towards the downtown area. Eastbound O'Hare Extension is real tight from the airport to the Tri-State Tollway, and heading inbound on Kennedy, it slows down between the O'Hare Extension and Canfield Road. Then it gets tight between Central and Montrose. Towards the inbound Stevenson, it slows down between the Tri-State Tollway and Willow Springs. Northbound Tri-State Tollway slowing down between Ogden Avenue and the 88 exit ramp. Your current Chicago forecast is mostly cloudy with a low around 71 for your Monday morning. It's going to be a high around 80 Monday night, a low around 68. Your next update in 15 minutes on AM 560, The Answer.
Do you like your gun range bag? There's a really cool local company here in Chicagoland that makes the finest range bags anywhere. And these quality range bags are so inexpensive that I bet you won't hesitate to buy one. The Hackett range bags from Hackett Equipment have it all. There are compartmentalized pouches that hold 2 or 4 pistols, ammo, mags, and even targets. Basically everything you need for a day at the range in a stealth design that doesn't resemble a range bag. Nobody will know you're carrying firearms. Additionally, they're super heavy duty and will last a lifetime because Hackett bags are 30% heavier than typical range bags. And the price is unreal. The large pack is under $100 and the small one under $80. But if you visit gunrangebags.com and use the promo code AM560, you'll save an additional 10%. Hackett Equipment bags really are range bags that can hack it. That's gunrangebags.com, promo code AM560. Gunrangebags.com. Do it now.
Looking to refinance your existing mortgage and want the lowest rates and lowest closing costs? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Other lenders boast about having low closing costs, which is like me saying I look good in a pair of 32-inch pants. Truth is, other lenders' closing costs are substantially higher than Team Hochberg's closing costs, and I haven't fit into a pair of 32-inch pants in over 40 years. Compare Team Hochberg's closing costs against any other lenders, and if our closing costs aren't lower, I'll donate to Veterans Roasters, an organization who hires homeless veterans to roast coffee, and an organization Team Hochberg already financially supports. When securing a mortgage, you can either work with a lender whose definition of low closing costs are over $1,000 higher than ours, or you could call Team Hochberg now at 312-751-1333. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM 560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
We now return to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer. If you have a question or an opinion, share it with us at 312-642-5600. And now, debating, debunking, and discussing today's hot issues. Here are your hosts, David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz.
Well, you can't pull the wool over, Texas justices. Well, it's the 5th, but so they bit the dust. That's a good thing. Moving it into Illinois. Fairly good news. I mean, it's not like it's earth-shattering, but Rauner signed a bill to some changes to FOID card, and they're positive things. I mean, it's a good thing. The biggest thing is, it was when the date comes up on the FOID card, you either is or you ain't. There's no in between. It's either you got one or you don't. They've changed that. This new change to the FOID card law, there's now a 60-day grace period. As long as you file it before it expires, you got up to 60 days past your expiration date that your card is still good, as long as you file it before it expires.
Right, because previously, if they took too long to renew your card, even if you had filed in a timely fashion, that it was just invalid.
Yeah.
I don't know how renewals are doing now, but I know a couple of years ago, they weren't on time for anything. There was,
Right.
there was just no way. They were
really
taking
far
60,
behind.
90 days, even though they were 30 days by statute.
Yep. So now they have 60. See, this is the part I'm not quite sure of. So they gave you a 60-day grace period, so that's good. But then they extended the time that they have to consider it by 60 days. So doesn't that just sort of zero out the account there?
Yeah, it does kind of a little
It
bit
seems
negate.
to me. Seems to me anyway.
I was
What
trying
happens
to-
on day 61?
I think they come to your house and they shoot you.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think they send you a letter. But anyway, I was trying to make sense out of what Barb Wheeler said, Representative Barb Wheeler. With nearly 2/3 of gun deaths attributable to suicide, this needed legislation will tighten up the regulations that serve to keep guns out of the hands of mentally unstable individuals.
Well, that's part of that is they've redefined who's a patient. So they've redefined
Clarifies the reporting
yeah.
standards for hospitals and requires they report all mental health admissions.
Exactly. Because, my doctoral work was that stuff, and it's all smoke and mirrors to begin with. And I'm not being negative about people who have mental health issues, but they say, well, you have this. Well, I don't know so much. One of my profs at Illinois wrote a book called Relationship Counseling and Psychotherapy, and this back in in the 70s when we had wonderful therapies like primal scream and stuff.
Drum circles.
Oh yeah, it's just like you'd walk past a classroom and people would be in fetal balls on the floor screaming. I'm going, oh my God, it's like you're in an asylum. But he wrote this book and he did the research, and what he found out was it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's primal scream or any of them. The only thing that actually gives you any chance of having any help is whether or not you have a good relationship with a therapist, and everything else is moot. And even when you do, sometimes it doesn't work.
It's still kind of a crapshoot.
It's still kind of a crapshoot, yeah. So when they go, well, these experts testify, well, schizophrenic with threat, yeah, that's get out your dice, roll them, yeah, he's a psycho. But we know, and my favorite poster child is this guy.
Oh, what was his name? James.
No.
Something.
He looks like a munch painting.
Oh, Adam Lanza.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that photo? The picture of him.
Oh, yeah.
It's like.
Yeah.
He looks like the Scream. Yeah.
Yeah, and you look at him and you go, something ain't right with that boy. and so most of these shooters have in fact had known psychological problems, known run-ins with the law.
With very few exceptions.
Exactly. That's exactly right. With very few. They've been well known to fit into that thing. And that's what they got to go after. And, and I hate to sound like I'm defending Father Pfleger, but.
Yeah, don't.
Please don't.
Well, but in fair is fair. When he had that debate, I don't know if it was a debate, but when he had that thing with Todd Vandermeide on TV 3-4 weeks ago, he did say, and I give him credit for this because most anti-gun people never say this. He did say, he wants to ban guns and all that, but he said, but that's not going to solve the problem completely. We've got family issues and we have economic job issues. Most anti-gunners never say that. All they ever talk about is you got to ban guns and then that's going to solve your problem.
It's the inanimate object.
At least there is that reality therapy. He lives in the neighborhood and he looks at it and he goes, it's not as simple as some people will make it. And I will give him credit for that. I'd like to get him on the show.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that video, but I'm shocked. I mean, you told me about it and I'm still in disbelief. I haven't seen it for myself. I'm still in disbelief that he actually said that.
I'm going to say those aren't his words. They were probably manufactured by somebody, and he herded them back. I don't think anybody manufactures stuff for Pfleger. I really don't. I don't think his ego is no. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, he's.
He loves his job.
You said even the diocese said we can't control him.
Yeah, they said he's an exception.
He's a special case.
Yeah, a special case. That's actually what they said.
In other words, we can't control him.
No. And,
we have tried.
Realistically, if we got a group together and marched on Lakeshore Drive or on the Kennedy or the Dan Ryan, we wouldn't be in the studio right now. We'd be locked up somewhere.
No, we'd have our FOID cards taken away and we'd be arrested.
Exactly.
Or else we'd be a grease spot on the highway.
Well, and there's that. Anyway,
on the front of some state trooper's push bumper.
When we come back, we'll have Gretchen's action items for the week. And all that and a little bit more when we return with more On Target Radio. And you're listening to AM 560.
The Answer.
Hard drives fail. Viruses destroy data. Having a copy of your work, photographs, financial records, and other important files is one step in a thorough backup plan. Geekometrics offers a secure online solution by placing a copy of your data off-site where it's safe from theft, fire, and unauthorized access. Losing photos and financial information is devastating. Geekometrics' secure online backup solution is a reliable way to back up important files. The most common reasons for not backing up are uncertainty about what needs to be backed up and how to do it reliably. Geekometrics provides a full-service managed solution with no storage limit. Geekometrics does all of the setup, configuring, testing, and monitoring. Your data is even safe when you travel with your Mac or PC laptop. Call 630-759-9283 to talk to a specialist who can help you keep your data safe. 630-759-9283. Geekometrics, helping you keep your data safe.
That's Dot. She's here to greet me after a long day. She's the only one who wants to be near me when I'm sick. She's my best friend. Thanks to folks like South Suburban Humane Society, Dot went from living on the street to a dog that wears clothes. Yep, I'm that guy. So how did I get so lucky? Before I met Dot, I spent time at South Suburban. Giving to a nonprofit isn't always about giving money or donating food and supplies, although that's appreciated too. South Suburban Pets just want your love. We encourage you to come by the facility, take a dog for a walk, play with Dot's cat friends, or even foster a pet to keep your flexibility. If you're interested in how you can volunteer or donate, visit them at southsuburbanhumane.org. That's right, Dot. South Suburban is a 501c3, which means all donations are tax deductible for individuals and businesses. Text DONATE to 708-866-0065 or visit southsuburbanhumane.org. South Suburban Humane Society, creating a better world for pets and their people.
You're listening to On Target Radio on AM 560, The Answer, with David Lombardo and Gretchen Fritz. Here's David and Gretchen with more interesting conversation on gun control, concealed carry, freedom of speech, and other red meat issues that affect your life. Stand by. Here's Gretchen with your action items for the week.
Save the date for the 33rd Annual Gun Rights Policy Conference, September 21st to 23rd at the Hyatt Regency Chicago O'Hare Airport in Rosemont. Hear and meet luminaries of the 2A community. The conference is sponsored by the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms and the Second Amendment Foundation, who make it free to attend. Attendees also receive a plethora of books and other informational materials. Register now by emailing grpc2018@saf.org. The following Safer USA classes are at our facility in Waterman, Saturday and Sunday, September 1st and 2nd. Illinois Concealed Carry 1. This 16-hour class will be taught by David and Gretchen and meets the training requirements for Illinois Concealed Carry as well as Florida and Arizona. Sunday, September 23rd. Introduction to Tactical Pistol, taught by David. To sign up for classes, go to saferusa.com and click on Register.
How exciting. We had Eric in the studio for part of the show. That was nice.
I'm glad that was exciting
for
you.
we rode our bikes up. We were muy macho, right?
That was fun.
And then we had barbecue. So it was a
good night.
It was a good night. Hopefully it's not raining.
I think we'll be okay.
I don't like to ride in the rain. I don't know. I didn't
go fast.
I don't think you. No, it's like being hit with BBs in the face. Did you say?
I just mean if you get home fast, then you don't less worry about the rain.
Did you say that as soon as you check the dates, we'll put up the renewal classes? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's coming up. I also want to plug next Sunday. A guy named Anthony McCaskill is going to be on the show. He's running for mayor of Harvey, Illinois. Now, people go, who the hell gives a rat's butt about Harvey, Illinois? Is known as the most corrupt city in the state of Illinois. And that's the one where I testified in an administrative hearing to try and keep the gun range open and so that the local residents can practice. But anyway, so he's going to be on, and we're going to ask him, what exactly are you going to do if you get elected mayor? Because they shoot people in Harvey, So he will be on next week. That should be very, very interesting. I think that's probably all the news that's fit to print. Do you got anything exciting?
Nada.
Nothing. You got anything exciting?
No, not for tonight. Well, I'm holding some stuff back for September.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. No, nobody called tonight. That's
my daughter starts school tomorrow.
That's exciting.
Like real big girl school?
Yeah, 2nd grade.
Awesome.
George, did you get that far?
No, I was exempt.
He tested out of all of it.
What is coming up is Zombie Shoot. That's the
8th,
September 8th. Yeah. Zombie Shoot at Aurora Sportsman's Club. So that is really worth signing up for.
I should have put that on the action.
Yeah, that'll be another wild time.
Send me that.
We have all those extra ranges now that we can that we're going to use. And
it's going to be bigger and better than ever.
It will be indeed. So we have all that to look forward to.
Bigger and deader than ever.
There you go.
Exactly. So anyway, we'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to On Target Radio.
We'd also like to thank George Hoffman on the board, Eric Allen, our video producer, announcer, all-around tech whiz guy. Learn about how you can be a sponsor partner for a lot less than you think. Call 815-741-3474 for details.
And be sure to listen next week when we'll have Anthony McCaskill in the studio talking about his upcoming run for mayor of Harvey, the most notorious crime-ridden city in Illinois. So how do you like being in the studio?
I like it. It's good.
It's homey, isn't it?
Is it back? Yeah. Is it like being back in the dining room?
It is. I'm back in the presence of greatness.
Well, you're back in the circle. You're back in the fold.
I'm in the inner circle.
That's right.
It's getting away from George.
There's that side too.
There's an escape.
We weren't going to bring that up.
All right, we got to bail out, but we will see you next week. Tell your friends to listen. We need all the people we can.
Sometimes when it rains, it pours right into your basement. This is Gus from Chicagoland Waterproofing. My mission is to identify why your home is taking on water and fix it. I want you to sleep at night during a rainstorm and not worry about your basement filling up